Well, thank you very much, Bill. And no doubt there are a few members of the faculty who would swear it was 33 years that I served as a student here. We had a chance earlier in our sessions here at lunch to acknowledge our faculty and administrators who are here as part of this lunch today, and I'm grateful to them all for their presence. I would like to, if you'll indulge me, and all of my colleagues would, to just single out one of them, because I saw her sitting over there, and I didn't know that she would be here today. And the distinguished Dorothy Brown of our history department. Welcome back. Well, every reunion weekend I am reminded of what a privilege this is, this chance to call this place and this tradition, this Georgetown experience, home. So whether this is your first trip back here or one of many since you've graduated, I hope you'll enjoy this time here on the hilltop with your Georgetown family. This is the official opening of Reunion Weekend, and it's my privilege to be able to be here to welcome all of you and have this opportunity to launch this weekend. I want to express my gratitude to my classmate, Bill Reynolds, the Executive Director of the Georgetown University Alumni Association, who has embodied the commitment to our alumni over the course of now 9 years in service as our Executive Director of our Alumni Affairs. The format that we use to launch this is really kind of an opportunity to show off a little bit. We have so many distinguished alumni who are returning this weekend that being able to showcase the experience, the career, the witness, the model that are present here is a real special privilege. And so we've developed this style of launching the weekends by beginning with a conversation. And in a moment, I'm going to begin a conversation with somebody who's here to celebrate his reunion, a member of the class of 1985, Ambassador Mark Dybul. Now, Bill Reynolds and I, as classmates, we've known each other since the day we arrived freshman year, and we tend to watch each other's back. But I'm going to have to just make one slight correction to your earlier introduction of Mark. The M in his degree list was medical school. And Mark was both an undergraduate, that was Mark. No, I'm just kidding. That was Ray Mitchell, the dean of the medical school. Mark was an undergraduate class of 1985, and then a medical school graduate of 1992. And as Bill mentioned, just 2 years ago at commencement, we were it was an extraordinary honor for me to present him with an honorary degree from Georgetown. And you're going to see why, as we get into the conversation today, why the university felt it was so appropriate to recognize Mark with an honorary degree. He currently is here at the university as a member of our faculty. He's a distinguished scholar and co-director for our Global Health Law Center at our law school's O'Neill Institute, which was an institute established just a few years ago by two of our alumni, Linda and Timothy O'Neill, which straddles both the main campus in the Law Center and the Medical Center by bringing together colleagues from our School of Nursing and Health Studies and colleagues from other departments across the university. We house the institute at our Law Center, and we're going to get into that in a moment as to why we did that and what it means for Mark to be working in that context. But as I said, Mark began his career here. He received both his BA in philosophy and his MD from Georgetown. I gave you those years, 85 and 92. What was going on in between? He served as the assistant to the president, to Father Timothy Healy, during that period between undergraduate and medical school. One of his stops brought him to the National Institutes of Health, where he worked as the deputy director to Tony Fauci. And then in 2006, to the end of the Bush administration, he served as the United States Global AIDS Coordinator and led the implementation of the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR. This was the largest international health initiative in history for a single disease. He also oversaw the U.S. government engagement in the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria, and prior to assuming that, as I said, he was part of the team that was responsible for creating PEPFAR. Mark's well-published in policy and scientific literature. He's received many awards and honorary degrees. We're very proud of the service that he's done and the way in which he's represented Georgetown at every step of his career. It's an honor to welcome back here a member of the class of 1985 and of the medical school, Mark Dybul. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Are we working? Are you working?
I think so.
Okay.
Lights on. Yep, there we go.
All right. You know what I'd like to do is just push this table a little bit, right off the ledge, and slide out a little bit more so we have better eye contact over here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mark Dybul, and I'm going to ask Mark a few questions, and I'll open it up to all of you. But I want to just begin. This is reunion weekend, so let's be a little autobiographical. How did you get here, and what happened during those years here, and what led you, during your experience here, to the career that you're now living?
Well, I got here because I went to Marquette University High School, which is a Jesuit high school. And so I was kind of brought up by the Jesuits. And Georgetown, being a Jesuit university, was a natural attraction. And I also spent summers here when I was a high school debater. And there's something about the place that just draws you in. And spending summers here, it really wasn't a competition. Back then you could do this. It was the only school I applied to. Now you'd be in big trouble. So there was, Georgetown just has there's something about the place, there's an energy about it, an ethos that just gets into every creek and crevice of the place. And so it was just a place that I loved from the day I walked on campus, and didn't feel like I could be anywhere else.